Leadership is essentially a five-dimensional representation of aspiration, agility, anticipation, authenticity, and ability in that order. The aspiration of freedom can afford power in every sphere of life, but not the ambition of power. Mahatma Gandhi is a sterling example of a leader who epitomized political leadership that sought power for everyone, while all politicians choose electoral politics for personal power. There is nothing wrong with personal power as long as it is shared, is it? The first and most important dimension of leadership is aspiration. Gandhi's baptism into political leadership was born out of the discrimination he faced in South Africa. He was a failure as a lawyer, but his battle with every inhibition and challenge at a personal level manifested onto a larger canvas of life itself. His target was freedom, not just from the British in India, but rather the very mindset of slavery that prevented Indians from deserving what is right. Despite the British leaving the country, are we any better as a society that cherishes its freedom? It is Homi J. Bhabha and his agile leadership that has made India the nuclear power it is today. And that is mainly due to the audacious agility of formulating a strategy of focusing on extracting power from the country's vast thorium reserves rather than its meager uranium reserves. This thorium-focused strategy was in marked contrast to all the other countries in the world. The approach proposed by Homi Bhabha to achieve this strategic objective became India's three-stage nuclear power program. He established the infrastructure and built the talent to focus on the subject of nuclear physics that has given rise to generations of talent in the field. And this is a sterling example of agility. Anticipation without aspiration and agility is absolutely useless. Mahendra Singh Dhoni was a master at anticipation, but that just didn't drop from heaven. He brought on relatively unknown bowler to bowl the decisive final over in the inaugural T20 World Cup that India won. Even though Yuvraj Singh was in the pink of form in the tournament, in the 2011 World Cup final, Dhoni promoted himself ahead of Yuvraj when quick wickets fell and steadied the innings and steered India to a memorable victory with a six. Such anticipation in situations manifests in leadership who know how to live in the moment and take accountability for their actions. Swami Vivekananda advocated spiritual leadership, fighting against biased thinking. A strong believer in the Advaita philosophy, which epitomizes the oneness of God and self that was propagated by Adi Shankaracharya, he presented yoga and Vedanta to the world with authenticity. He didn't perceive a need to attire himself any differently to the expectations of the world, nor did he succumb to the religious dogma of the doubters of the times to travel for the causes he believed were important to serve in the interest of humanity. His vision of shining a light on philosophies that would benefit humanity was globally relevant, and thanks to him, will remain so for ages to come. Abul Pakir Jainulabdin Abdul Kalam was an Indian aerospace scientist and statesman who served as the 11th President of India from 2002 to 2007. He was born and raised in Rameshwaram, Tamil Nadu, and studied physics and aerospace engineering. He spent the next 4 decades as a scientist and science administrator, mainly at the Defense Research and Development Organization and Indian Space Research Organization, and was intimately involved in India's civilian space program and military missile development efforts. He thus came to be known as the Missile Man of India for his work on the development of ballistic missile and launch vehicle technology. He also played a pivotal organizational, technical, and political role in India's Pokhran II nuclear tests in 1998, the first since the original nuclear test by India in 1974. He executed his role with ability, deftly handling various political regimes and successfully staying away from the news and gossip mills, and yet became the president of the country. A man who believed in work ethics, whether he was a scientist or the president of the country. His humility and simplicity never deserted him, and his ability to execute his vision was the courage and conviction of his dreams for the country.